Wow. 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 If you guys do not watch the NHL hockey playoffs, you got no pulse. This past weekend was insane. With that said, this is a betting show. We got to move forward. We got one game to discuss tonight, Ottawa versus Toronto. We got two games to discuss for tomorrow, Washington, Carolina, and Edmonton at Vegas. And I'm going to race through all four series bets with Matthew Barnaby. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. Matthew and I, Andy Lang at the end of the show. Moving forward, we're only going Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to do 2 days at a time. With that said, let's bring him in. Matthew Barnaby, welcome to the show. How are you, brother? What a weekend. Holy crap. 1.6 seconds. That is insane, Matthew. And I feel horrible for the St. Louis Blues, but wow.
Listen, you said it off the hop. If you're not a hockey fan after watching the whole first round, and you could take any series, it was just amazing. Like Ottawa played great against Toronto, and Montreal played great against Washington. Game sevens, tying it up at the end, Rantanen scoring 3 against his former team in the third period. I mean, what a first round. 6 for 8 in my predictions. The other two, a little tough. Listen, I'll take Colorado being up by 2 going into the third period in game 7 and take my chances. The one thing you can look at is I don't think Dallas or Winnipeg come back if they're on the road. That's how important game 7s at home were
Wow.
in that first round. So, you just never quit. 1.6 seconds left. They find a way. Hellebuck finds a way to win with not being great in round 1. And now they move on to round 2, and it's going to get even harder.
Yeah, and we're going to discuss that. Before we get into that really quick, look, it doesn't compare to the drama of NBA Game 7s. I mean, first you had the incredible NBA Game 7 on Saturday night. It was a nail biter right to the bitter end. 120 to 101 for Denver. Then on Sunday, you had the single most gripping Game 7 of all time, 103-89 to Golden State. Our apologies that the NHL does not have that type of drama. But let's get into it. Matt, let's start with some series bets right off the bat. You missed Friday's show. You are no longer allowed to miss Friday's show. I'm just kidding. Listen, we're lucky. We're lucky to have you, bro. Carolina, minus 170 against the Washington Capitals. I like Carolina in the series. I hate the price. What do you think of this series bet?
I hate the price too, but I'm still on Carolina. What I saw from Washington in round 1, Montreal controlled a lot of that series. They just didn't have the ability to finish off games when they had the chance. So I didn't like Washington in that series at all. I thought Logan Thompson played very well. Carolina, I think by far is the better team. I like this in 6 games or less. I think they control this series. I think they're faster. I think they're deeper. And the only thing they might have the edge in is in goal.
Matthew, Toronto is plus 155 against the Panthers, minus 185. And I think the Panthers are the toughest team in hockey. This is going to be an absolutely violent series. I can't get to the window on Florida. Obviously, I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. I'm going to lay off the series completely. Where are you going here?
I'm just taking this game by game, and I'm taking Florida in regulation in game 1. I think Florida wins this series. I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone thinks. Everyone's all over the Florida train, and rightfully so. They're defending Stanley Cup champions. They're a better team this year than they were last year. Toronto's a sneaky team. I just don't think they have the physical prowess to be able to hold up with how deep Florida is and how physical they are. And Florida's D is big, man. They're big and they're strong. No Ekblad for game 1. That will hurt. But having home ice, I think, is very important for Toronto as opposed to starting on the road. I think this will help them a little bit, but I'm still on Florida game 1. And I'm going to take a game-by-game series. 185 is just too much to lay.
It is too much to lay. Edmonton and playing Vegas. A lot of money has come in on Vegas. The line was minus 125 for Edmonton. I think Friday or Saturday. Now it's minus 105. It's swapped over. Vegas is the slight favorite. I like Edmonton here in the series, Matt. I don't know what I'm going to do in game one quite yet. I have not fully handicapped that game, but I think the Oilers match up very well against Vegas. I know Vegas shut them down 2 years ago. But I think there's a lot of speed in Edmonton, too much for Vegas to handle. And I think that Edmonton is feeling pretty good about themselves after a 4-game run against the Kings to win that series 4-2. Where are you going in this one?
Yeah, I'm going Vegas. I'm going with a team that I have confidence in. Edmonton. Listen, I was at Game 5, one of the best sporting events and arenas I've been in my life. It was incredible. And I think they do have a lot of emotion coming off that, but they were lucky to win that series in the end. If Byfield chips that puck out, if it wasn't a dumb coaching challenge in that series, it could be a different case. You got Calvin Pickard is your goalie. Like Calvin Pickard's your goalie going into the playoffs. If Calvin Pickard was your goalie going in, I don't think anyone's picking the Edmonton Oilers. So he did okay in finding a way to beat LA in the last couple of games, but I'm on Vegas, and I have a little trepidation only because Vegas wasn't great against the Minnesota Wild. And Minnesota was very good in that series against a Vegas team that I thought it was going to be easier for them. But I'm going to go back to Vegas. Yes, speed for Edmonton going to be a problem, but I just think they're a better hockey team in Vegas, and I don't think Edmonton can rally the troops one more time, especially with Pickett as their goalie. I think we do see Skinner come in at some point in the series.
Yeah, I don't know if Skinner ever plays for Edmonton again. So, but with that said, it is set up because we would expect Pickard to have a bad game or two. We're against each other on that one, Matt. Let's talk Winnipeg and Dallas here. Let's go into the dressing room. We got Matthew Barnaby with us. He played in the NHL for 14 or 15 years. I can't remember, nor can he. I don't know, man. Like plus 145 for the Jets. What is going on in that dressing room right now? And can it propel them to beat Dallas?
Well, I think game one, they will be riding a high, but listen, you cannot be betting against the Dallas Stars here. Dallas is the best team left in the playoffs. Bart, they're listen to me. It's Florida and it's Dallas. I had Florida and Colorado, and again, come down from 2 goals against a very good Colorado team. They have to be right now at home, going, "What the hell just happened?" We should be getting ready to play round 2, and Dallas found a way. They're a deep team. They're a
Yeah.
physical team. They have scoring throughout that lineup, and they're very well coached. So I can't bet against the Dallas Stars. I'm on Dallas here all the way. I think they win the Western Conference. So for that reason alone, I don't care if they're on the road, at home. This is the better team. Don't overthink it. Take the Dallas Stars.
So Matthew likes Carolina minus 170, Florida minus 185, kind of. Vegas minus 115 and Dallas minus 170. Lay that all in a 4-team round robin, 3s and 4s only. Never make a 2-team parlay. Those are horrible odds. I don't know about this Winnipeg Dallas. This Winnipeg team. Look, Shifley's the key here.
Yeah.
I understand Robertson and there's injuries in Dallas, but they thought coming into the playoffs, this was going to be Shifley's sort of coming out party.
Yeah.
This was where he was going to establish himself in the top 10 players in all of hockey. Him coming back is crucial. I don't know yet whether he will. He will at some point. But man, this Winnipeg team has owned Dallas. I mean, owned them 4-1 in their last 5. And we're talking about demolishing 4-0, 4-1, 4-1, 3-0. Dallas has scored. They did put up a 3 spot in their only win. But Dallas has scored 5 goals in 5 games. 5 goals in 5 games. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, they're playing a playoff version of Connor Hullenbach, which means they're guaranteed 5 goals
Yeah.
each game. But I don't know, man. I think plus 145 with the Jets, a team that has dominated Dallas. I think there's value there. Matthew Barnaby joining me like he does every day. You can hear this show on all streaming platforms and at WagerTalk TV. And we do this show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until the end of the playoffs. So we'll be back next season every single day. Matt, let's get into tonight's game. You've already mentioned that you like Florida in regulation. They're minus 125. I like the under in this game, Matt. I think we're going to see unders all the way through. Obviously, there'll be a game here or there that'll go over. There will be a 4-2, empty netter along the way, but I like the under in this game. I think we've got 2 incredible goaltenders, 2 extremely heavy and mobile defensemen. We've got speed up front on every line on both teams with incredible forechecking and back checking. And both these teams want to play to the under. I understand that the Tampa Bay Lightning's name appears next to the Toronto Maple Leafs logo, but that's because it's really early in the morning and Dan, our producer, was up with his fiance very late last night trying to take care of her needs and was unable to get up this morning and fix that. But we understand. Matt, I like the under here. I'm not going to touch the side.
Yeah, I got Florida, like I said. I like the under as well. The only thing that concerns me about the under is Florida's a physical team. They're going to try to assert their dominance physically. And I think Craig Berube is going to ask his guys, watch for guys like Max Domi and Nyes,
Yep.
Tanev to respond physically. So the only concern I have for the under is that there could be a lot of power plays in this game because I think it could get away from them either which way physically, and they're going to try to both
It's a great point.
assert their physical dominance, but Toronto's also going to try to match that. I think that's going to be a key component in that locker room. So I think discipline is going to be paramount. But I agree with you. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring series. I think this is going to be a battle in the trenches. And these are 2 very good hockey teams. Toronto proved it all year long. And when push came to shove, they found a way to beat a pesky Ottawa Senators team. But Florida's a different beast. I think it's going to be a great series, but I do like Florida in this game as well.
Andy Lang still to come. Guys, hit that like button. Assert their dominance. We call that a Barnaby.
Well, my 52nd birthday was last night, so I asserted something last night. It was a long night, very long night.
Excellent stuff. There we go. So now we know Dan, our producer, sex life, Barnaby's sex life, and I went to bed. Okay.
I didn't say anything about sex, by the way.
No, you said inserted something. So
Oh.
I just assumed. Like, unless I don't know what other options you have in your insertion techniques. But okay, I mean, listen, it's you, and it was your birthday. So, Dan fixed the logo.
There we go. There we go.
2 games going tomorrow night, Matthew. Washington at home hosting Carolina. I mentioned that I like Carolina in the series. I like them in this game as well. This is just they're both veteran teams, but man, like Carolina being in the second round of the playoffs, same old, same old. I think they get it done in the first round at minus 125. I think they're a better team all the way through the lineup, except for maybe in goal.
I think this is the shortest series that we're going to see. I see this as a 5-game series. Carolina, the last 5, 6, 7 years is they're sneaky, just always there. They're a good hockey team. They're well coached by Rod Brindamore, and they play a fast paced, physical. But listen, I just don't think Washington can keep up with Carolina. The only chance they have is if they get power plays, and the grade 8 is just smacking it from his usual spot. But yeah, the goaltending is probably the only spot where they aren't a better team throughout this lineup. They're younger, they're a veteran team, but they're younger, they're faster, they're just a better team. I think this is the quickest series we're going to see. So I got Carolina in regulation here.
Hit that like button, everybody. I got to look at Vegas here at minus 140. I feel like Edmonton, it's one of those. emotional victories by Edmonton, down 2-0 in the series. Now, I understand that Vegas was down and struggled in the series as well, but it never really had that feel that the Edmonton LA series had. I mean, Edmonton was, basically out of it. They had huge goaltending issues. Although they haven't fixed them, they still got to feel better about themselves. This feels like a letdown spot for the Edmonton Oilers, even though you shouldn't have one in the playoffs. They do. It happens all the time. I think Vegas at -140 is the play. I don't want to take it in regulation, though, so I'm going to take it on the money line.
Yeah, I'm on Vegas here. I don't think it's going to be an easy series, but I'm with you. When you have a kind of series that they had and the emotional ups and downs where you're literally 24 seconds from going down 3-1 and then you end up winning the series 4-2
Yeah.
because of a couple bad mistakes by the Los Angeles Kings, another team that probably sitting there like, what the hell just happened? I think this is a letdown game for the Edmonton Oilers. I think Vegas is the better team all the way around. If you can control the two best players or two of the three best players in the world, which I think Vegas can do, or at least limit them, and you're never going to stop them. But I like Vegas in this game, -135. I think they're the better team. I don't think it's a bad price.
There we go. Matthew Barnaby and the Prez. This is the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. Matthew, so 5 years ago, I started a show called Wager Talk Today. We taped that show at noon Eastern every single day. Friday was my last day hosting that show forever.
Wow.
The new host is joining us right now, Andy Lang. And Andy, tell our audience really quick what they should expect from this show, a Wager Talk Today. The boring ass Prez is out. You're taking over. It starts at noon Eastern today, and it is live.
Yeah, absolutely. We got listen, the meat of the show is still, we're going to break down games, we're going to give out plays, and we're going to talk about that. But we also got some new segments. After the playoffs, we're going to bring back a segment I did a couple years ago. It's called the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame, where we take crazy sports records and we decide if it's breakable or not. And if it's not breakable, it goes in the Hall of Fame. We're going to.
I have one for you.
Okay.
The single greatest record in all of sports.
I mean, there's so many of them. I mean,
yeah,
there can't be so many if it's the single greatest.
Is it Gretzky's points?
Nope.
No. Sadie Koufax's wins?
Nope.
What is it?
Sir Donald Bradman.
Okay.
Sir
Wilt Chamberlain 100 points in a game is going to be.
Well, his 10,000 women was more impressive.
I think it was 25. It's anywhere from 10,000 to 25,000. I'm more impressed with that.
It worked out to be 3 women a minute, something like that. It was very impressive. Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
I'm sore just thinking of it.
That's pre-Viagra.
Yeah. Well, and the craziest thing, Barnaby, is, and you know this because me and you are older now, there was a time where I was very jealous of Wilt Chamberlain's 10,000 women. Now I'd kill myself.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like a fun time.
No.
Hey, dealing with one is enough.
Well, listen, I'm Jewish, so the amount of chafe. Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Sir Donald Bradman, Andy Lang. He retired from cricket with a batting average of 99 in Test cricket. The second greatest batting average of all time is in the low 50s. The difference between number 1 and number 2 is greater than in any other sport other than Michael Phelps. Sir Donald Bradman, he deserves to be in your Unbreakable Hall of Fame record. Okay.
So this was brought up when we were doing this segment a couple years ago. This was brought up a couple times, and then we stopped doing it on the show. We will absolutely do that one. We're going to talk a lot more about bankroll building. We got a lot of free tools for people. Like spreadsheets are not sexy and exciting, but they're a necessity. You have to have it. We're going to show people how they can follow along with how I build my bankroll. You'll have all the free tools. We're going to talk a lot more about that. We got some awesome fun games that we're going to do with some of the handicappers. We've got a beat Art to Caesar where Art tells us the public bet that can beat him, but then he also tells us the public bet that he waxed the public on the previous week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
A lot of energy. Really, really excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get into some prop bets for tonight and tomorrow night's games.
Yeah, there's kind of a fun one. The Panthers and the Leafs. Every game is going to be plus 265. Will it go to overtime? 3 games in the last series for Toronto went to overtime. I don't know. It was kind of something that caught my eye. I'm going to go to Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal. The last 4 games, Bennett has just come alive. 6, 7, and 8 shot attempts. That's gotten him 4, 3, 3, and 6 shots on goal. Toronto 24th shots on goal in the regular season. Panthers 3rd in the regular season in shots on goal. So I like Sam Bennett. I'm going to go under on Austin Matthews, under 3.5 shots on goal. And this is one I think you have to commit to every game in the series. He's under in 4 out of his last 5. In 2 games against Ottawa, he had like 10 shot attempts, which is a ton, but the others 7, 6, 6, and 4. That's really tough to get to 4 shots on goal. I just think if you play this every game, you're going to come out a little bit ahead at the end of the series, but you do have to commit to it every single game. I'm going to go to some goalies and some saves, and I actually would like Matthew's opinion on this. I'm noticing that a lot of these goalies are going under their saves, and I don't know if it's because the books are putting out numbers that are too high because the public likes betting overs, or if something kind of changes in the playoffs where there's just a lot more physicality. Guys are committing a little bit more on defense, and there's just less shots on goal. But Bobrovsky under 23.5 saves. He was under in 4 out of 5 games against Tampa, under in his last 5 against Toronto. So I like him under his saves, and Pickard under 25.5 saves. He went under in 4 out of the 5 games in the series. Played Vegas once, only had 20 saves in that one. I've just been noticing that it's been profitable to take these goalies under their saves. So Matthew, I don't know if you could chime in on this one. It just feels like there's less shots on goal because the physicality is just upped a little bit. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, Andy, I'm not going to lie, you hit it on the head. And when you look at it, I think it's twofold. First of all, it's more physical, it's tighter checking, but you also have guys blocking a lot more shots. Like guys are going to dive in front of with any body part to block a shot. So not as many of these pucks get through, and the public likes to bet the over. So they push that to a number. So I think it's twofold, but certainly it's block shots, physicality in the playoffs is so much more different. It's hard to get pucks through to the net.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And it's so funny the way they count shots on goal. If your goalie is out of the net, I don't know, trips and you're a defenseman standing in the net and you block a shot, does that count as a shot on goal?
No, a shot on goal has to have the path to go into the net. That's another weird
but
thing.
I'm saying if you're in the net, if you're a play, so if the goalie has been pulled,
that's not
it's not a save, it's a block shot.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me because that feels like a shot on goal to me. But anyway.
And also if it hits the post, that's not a shot on goal.
It's so dumb.
That's the craziest thing ever.
That's way less crazy than a player standing in the net.
Both are dumb.
Okay, both are dumb. Andy, I love that Austin Matthews prop. There's something definitely wrong with Austin. And we saw that Matthew, we started the show talking about the difference between the NBA and the NHL.
Yeah.
Did you see the Tampa Bay Lightning injury report when the series ended?
That's one series.
Yeah, dude.
That's one series. It's funny. We were talking about that last night. Just you wait for every series to see how many guys were playing with what.
There were people playing with broken bones.
Listen, I remember playing Montreal in the 98 series, and the literally second game of the playoffs, I got hit by Igor Ulanov, and he separated my shoulder. My AC joint was like up here, and I couldn't move. Well, I walked in, tear it all, little shot in the shoulder. I literally could have fought anyone in the world. I could have bench pressed the heaviest man.
Sounds like drugs to me.
It's very good. It's very
throwing
good
that out there.
The worst part is now you go and you do damage to your shoulder because you're running around hitting everything in sight, getting hit, going in front of the net, whatever. The next day you wake up and you literally can't move your shoulder. Like I couldn't lift my shoulder like literally 3 inches. Next day, so you're in agonizing pain because you can't take that shot again. Next morning, shoot it up and you're ready to go. And now you do that for 2 straight months or till you get knocked out of the playoffs. And then you see, oh, been playing with a torn shoulder or torn rotator cuff, AC joint, whatever. All these guys are going to play through if it's physically possible. I played with a torn MCL against Ottawa in '97, just taping it up, and the pain was extraordinary until we call him the candy man comes along and they give you a little pill or a little shot.
Yeah, well, that sounds crazy to me. This just in, we just LA Clippers released their injury report, why they lost last night. Kawhi had a bruise on the back of his thigh, and he scraped his elbow.
Yeah.
He couldn't hack it, dude. Kawhi could. That elbow scrape. It just took him over the edge.
It's okay. He got Toronto a win. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And another player scratched his nose.
Yeah.
So I think that's on Boston. He's been ruled out for the night. He was picking his nose. And,
he's gone.
Yeah, he's out for the night. Matthew Barnaby, everyone. That's the show. So much fun, guys. We're doing this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wednesday show will be me, Matt, and Andrew McInnis joining us. Friday, we might have a time change on Friday. We're going to only know that on Thursday. Matt will keep us posted, but we're going to be doing our show live on Friday. Thanks for watching The Blue Line. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Go Leafs, go, and don't you dare bet like an idiot.